All right, man, here we go. Another episode of TDM Talk. And as you can see, I got a very lovely and special guest. We got the homie Kween Kazaree in the building.
Yes, I am so happy to finally be here with you, actually. It's
Yeah,
been a long time coming. We've been talking about it,
for sure.
and now we're here.
And here we are. Hey,
Finally.
I'm a firm believer in timing is everything, right?
Right.
We could have done this and might not have been too much going on at the time to talk about or anything, but right now you like we talked about this right before we hit record about how so much has been going on. You got a
Yes,
lot.
back to back to keep up with.
Yeah, for sure. So again, thank you for just even
Yeah.
blessing us with your presence, man. Because I
No,
know you don't
yeah.
really be out there like that doing interviews, so we feel honored that
Yeah.
you be.
Yeah, I figured I'd pick one for this time with everything that I got coming up and
Correct.
going on. I'm like, I'm going to pick one podcast that I know I can feel at home with, and we're going to talk
We
about it all.
appreciate it being
Yeah,
us. Yeah,
let's
for
get
sure.
it.
So, let's start from the beginning, I guess. Like
Yes.
just the whole music thing. You come from a family of music, right?
Yes, I do. So my dad is definitely the reason why I do what I do. He was also a rapper. Growing up watching him,
Yeah.
being heavy in the game, being known as just one of the artists that had the best hustles and the hardest grinds in the city. I mean, out the trunk, selling CDs, at the corner store, pulling up, shaking hands. Very, very well respected man. Shout out the one and only Lucky C. My daddy, he put a mic in my hand when I was 8 years
Wow.
old for a talent show.
Yeah.
He wrote 2 verses, one for me, one for my brother, to Sitting on Top of the World by
Oh, okay,
JD
okay.
and the
Yeah.
Brat.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and so we came in, he taught us, how to hold the mics, and we practiced and memorized our verses, and time came, it was time for the talent show. And I mean, we're in elementary, so I'm like second grade, and all the other kids are singing Celine Dion and
Yeah.
all kinds of other cutesy things, and we're the only kids rapping.
Yeah.
So we get up there, we do our thing, and man, when I tell you we got a standing ovation, that feeling of the whole cafeteria and the whole building, just like when we were done, and just like clapping, they were so surprised what came out of us. They didn't expect a full rap, and that was a good feeling. And I think from that moment I knew, I was an artist, and that's where I belonged on the stage.
That's crazy because
Yeah.
every time I hear like artists talk about doing things like that at a young age, because like I think my youngest son, he's in second grade. Like I can't think of him rapping, even though he
Right.
likes Right Foot Creep by NBA Youngboy. He does
Yeah.
what is the dance called, the gritty. I'm like, but I think they see that like on Fortnite and other
Right.
things. But to even know that at such a young age, like this is what I want to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a seed he definitely planted in us young.
Yeah.
And from there, it's grown, and I just feel like I've been naturally an artist, everything that I do in life.
At what point, like, did you get into a studio and you made your first like recording? Like, when was that?
Well, technically, my dad would put us on some of his hooks. He was in a group called Hit Squad, and then later on, they changed their name to DOA. But on their albums, they would sometimes bring us kids into the booth, and I would say that's my first time actually recording music, actually recording a song. I was a teenager. Me and my sister, Ashley Desiree, she went by Desiree, and it goes with Kazaree. So we were young, and I want to say this is right, maybe freshman, sophomore, high school, still young, very amateur, with my pen as far as writing. But we did some music, 2 songs. My dad had us printed up on a CD. My mom did the artwork, listed the names of our songs, and I mean, he pulled us out there. We did made a booth of our own at one of our festivals in Clute, Texas. We got something called the Mosquito Festival.
Okay.
Every year that we
Wait,
have
did you
on
say
there.
mosquito? Like as in mosquito?
Festival.
Wow.
I mean, when you get closer to the water, that's 288 South.
Correct.
That's where I grew up, over there by Surfside Beach.
Okay.
Freeport. Okay, so Clute is right before Freeport. But down there, the mosquitoes are way more intense. You get closer by the water, the mosquitoes get intense. But I'm getting away from the topic.
No, you're
We
good.
were at the Mosquito Festival, posted up, selling the CDs. So to take it serious and get in the booth, you know, I'm a teenager, you know, 14, 15, 16, those
Okay.
years. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, one thing, and so now that all makes sense now. Like when I hear the music now, or you doing a freestyle or whatever it may be, I can tell the
Experience.
the
Yeah.
experience, and not only that, the conscious effort into putting actual substance behind what you're actually writing.
That part, the substance, major key.
Yeah.
And I feel like me doing it so young, I got that out of my system of like, I can do a song. I feel like some people who just starting, they're so excited about, oh, I could do a song, and it's that easy to get in the booth, do a song, and oh, I can drop it. Those are big deals to people when you're first getting started, but it was just, I started so young that I was like, okay, I already did that. So what's going to be different when I start doing it again, and when I really take it serious? How am I going to incorporate that substance?
Yeah.
And for me, you know, already doing it when I was young, the silly stuff, and, you know, just doing it because I know I can, that's cool. But then when you get an adult and you get to a certain age, it's like, where's the substance? What is this music going to do? Like, okay, I've already done it. I can say I've done it, but why? What's the purpose? So that, I think, is the difference you hear in my music as of now, because I really do care about it having a purpose to it.
What you actually put out.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
a lot of times, especially in this day and age, and I don't mean to sound like the old head, because
yeah.
I can be, but I also know, like, well, the youth is on some different type shit, but you can obviously tell that there's a lack of substance in today's music. A lot of it. Now, I'm not gonna say all of it, because there's some out there that are really out there spitting and dropping, you know, knowledge and whatnot. But for the most part, that lack of substance is there.
Yeah, it can sound amazing.
Yeah.
It's not that these human beings are not talented, but are you talented and have substance, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that's how you could tell, like, when music lasts, you know, the
Timeless.
test of time.
Yes.
Right? Like, to
Timeless
this
music.
day, I'm a big fan of podcasts. I still see people talking about Tupac, and he's been gone
Timeless.
30 plus years,
That's
you
an
know, or
example.
whatever. And to talk about his music and the career, Biggie, of course, you talk, you know, Nas, these guys, Scarface.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
These are timeless. This is timeless
You
music.
can play it
timeless
now, and it's
artists.
still like
It's
people will
gonna bump
jam
the
it.
same.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So,
Yep.
you know, so sir, is curious to know, like, music that's come out in the last 10, 15 years, will it still last 20, 30 years from now?
Right.
But so we talked about the substance. You know, you get in the booth and whatever. At what point did you start taking it, like, were you serious? So I always ask it, and I always get like a different answer. So I want to hear what your answer is.
Yeah. So it's been about 7 years now.
Okay. And
That
to you, what does it mean to take it serious, quote unquote?
to have a mission with your music,
Yeah.
and to be moving towards it. I know that looks different for a lot of people.
Yeah.
For example, me, I've been doing it for 7 years, but I don't have a lot of music dropped. And that's one of my fans' pet peeves about me, or the
Yeah.
people that follow me or support me. They get frustrated.
They
want
wanna hear more, right?
They like, just drop. You know, like I was on Mike D's podcast the other day, and
Yeah, shout out Mike
Queen,
D.
just drop. If any of my bros like hit me up right now and seen you on here, they're gonna tell me to tell you to drop. You know,
Yeah.
that's the thing they've been saying, you know, about Queen, and I get it and I understand, because you know that there's a talent there and you want to hear more of it. But the mission is to move with purpose, and when you have something with substance, you want to release it a certain way.
Yeah.
And through these 7 years, I've been developing as an artist. My pen has been developing. I've found my sound, where I want to be, my signature, what it is that how I want to represent myself as an artist, because we're talking about timeless work.
Yeah.
I'm not setting myself up just to worry about numbers and just to say I dropped the most or I dropped the most consistent. I'm worrying about how the music that I put out there will touch people and how long it will last. Will it be timeless? So it only takes that one good song sometimes. And I know I got more than that in me, but time is on our side if we're speaking of it in that way, right?
Yeah.
So over these last 7 years, I've been developing myself. I've been going through things. I found out how my pen works the best. Personally, for me, it works better when I'm articulating raw emotions.
Oh, okay.
So
can't go wrong with
at this point, I have no option but to be honest with myself and honest with the people. And the music for me is like it brings me and the people together.
Yeah, for sure.
That's our boy Hardcore right now. I gotta get with him about some artwork.
Yeah,
we
for
up
sure.
to something right now. We got a drop coming up.
Nah, that's what's up. Yeah, I can't wait, and we'll get into that in a minute. I almost wanted to jump into that, but so shout out to Hardcore.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll watch this at some point. Yeah, that guy there. I was just talking to him earlier too.
Yeah, that's my boy.
So now we talk about dropping with substance and just being articulate in the planning of dropping the music. Not just. And I think that's a smart way to go about it because a lot of people don't think that way. They just think volume, just put out music.
And I know, like you just said, people have different answers when you ask them, like, when did you start taking it serious? Like, what is that for you? But for me, getting in the booth and knowing that I want to get on stage and be an artist, but then figuring it out, like figuring how you're going to, your mission, you know what you want to do, but now you got to figure out and develop yourself on how you're going to get there. Yeah. So, 2019, 2018 is when I started.
Okay.
Outside of my dad being supportive and putting me on in the industry, we're also, my dad and our family is SUC affiliated.
Yeah.
So our family down at the screw shop, Big Bub, Willing, shout out my boy Big A. We got DJ Red in there slowing it down for everybody.
Shout out.
And those characters there, they were the first people that when I decided I wanted to be an artist, William was on my line. Like, he supported what I was doing. He took me under his wing, booked me for shows. And then that's how the who's who's, the legends in our area got familiar with me as Kween Kazaree, as opposed to just Lucky C's daughter.
Yeah.
I made a name for myself.
You made a name for yourself,
Yeah. So they're the very, very first. Willie, that's my brother for life, man. He's the very first one outside of my family to really, he's family, but outside of my blood relatives to believe in me and put me out there. And, y'all have seen me go through different phases in my career with partnering up with different people who also supported me, but they were the first. That's,
It's always important to remember those who saw it way before anybody else did, right?
Right there, 2018, 2019, and I've been developing myself since then, and I feel like I've had to go through some things for my pen to get right. There was like certain heartbreaking things in my life that I've been throughout the span of those 7 years that I'm like, man, if I didn't go through these things, I wouldn't even be able to write like this.
Man, I was just about, and that reminds me of, like, let's say, an Usher's Confessions album. Like, just the and I know Jermaine Dupri wrote pretty much all of it, but just the raw emotion that went into it, like the being very authentic and transparent in what happened, and people was like, I can relate to that, and that's what you want. You want the people to relate to it.
Yep, it has to be something real. That's what makes it timeless.
Yeah, because a lot of those issues and problems that we go through is something that people way after us is going to go through those same things. So when they hear, like, one of my favorite Tupac songs is "Never Had a Friend Like Me," right? Or "No More Pain." I think of songs like that, and I'm just like, bro, after all these years, it's still like. Still touches you,
It is. It's like he can articulate that emotion very well with his sound, and it's transferable. into our speakers so that we can feel it as well and it's tangible. Tupac is definitely an inspiration for me.
That was gonna be my next question. Like,
He's
who
probably
were
one of the main
inspirations for you? You know,
when it comes to rap, of course, all of the Southern music is an inspiration to me. But as a child, like, my parents are bumping Fifth War Boys, UGK, Pac. Now, mind you, it was filtered because we were kids, but, like my dad, he wouldn't let us listen to no curse words, but my mom, she was rebellious. So, I mean, we're with her most of the time. She's like, shoot, y'all go, I ain't gonna be able to jam my music if I wait till y'all gone. She was listening to her music, and boy, we knew every Pimp C lyric we shouldn't have known, but memories, those are the sounds. And Tupac was really, really big in our household. His passion is just like what I feel he's able to transfer his emotions to. It
sets him apart.
Yeah,
like
totally.
Literally, because I can't. There's no one other than maybe Scarface that can articulate their passion into the music, and you actually feel
with
it.
Their voice. And that's what I call a vocalist. It's not always singing. I feel like rappers can be vocalists too. I would consider myself a vocalist because it's the way your voice sounds when you say certain things and how you can tie it into your emotion to match it into the emotion.
Okay.
And that's what helps people be able to just pick up on that emotion and relate to it quicker. They're not trying to figure out what you mean. Like, you can say something like, I'm going down. And then you can say, I'm going down. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I feel it, because that emotion. So, the lyrics could be there, but then the vocalist comes in and it's the way they spit it and say it. And that's how people like Pac do, like Kendrick Lamar. I feel like vocalist. He's up here, up there, pitch here, pitch there, altering his voice, his sounds. He almost sounds like bipolar, like they're a different bar, a different emotion. And literally,
I've heard him do that literally, like in the same song.
Yeah, I love it.
It damn near sounds like two different songs at times.
And that's how our asses think in our head. Like, we're
going one.
So
that's why I used to hate when people would say like, "Oh man, Pac's a hypocrite." It's Dear Mama, and then it's California Love, and and then Brenda had a baby.
We all hypocrites then.
I was like, well, I mean, those are just different emotions that people go through, and you can go through them usually within the same day, within the same hour. Sometimes you can be pissed off at 1 minute and be laughing about it the next.
So are we going to reject our emotions, our raw emotions that we feel, like the anger, the sadness? Like, I like to remind my family and my loved ones that we have to learn how to embrace the sadness and the anger just as much as we do the happiness, because they have a part in our life equally. They're equally as important as our happiness. If we just were happy all the time and everything was good, we wouldn't have anything to compare it to. We wouldn't even be appreciative of it. It would be boring.
Yeah.
But when we go through painful situations, that is the contrast that helps us appreciate the happiness.
We're getting deep here, and I like that, because that's absolutely true. And I want people that's watching to know that this, although we're talking about the music, it really doesn't have to be about them. This is just life. Yeah.
Life is art. I like to look at it like that. I like to call myself a life artist, because everything I do is a form of art, whether it's how I creatively handle bad situations or challenges. We all have to get creative, problem solving. All of that stuff is a form of art, if you ask me. Everything is art.
No, I hear you. I love that, man. We've had definitely a lot of discussions about, and I know this is maybe it's not really too much off topic, but just mental health in general, because music. I always like to say music is therapeutic.
Yep.
90% of the time, you're gonna catch me with an AirPod in my ear, and there's music playing. Matter of fact, when I went outside to wait for you, I was listening to music. Yeah,
that's cool.
Because I don't know. It takes me, to another place where. Whatever, It
helps align your frequency, and then you have whatever songs or type of playlist that you're in the mood for, that you feel like you need, a vibe you need to be in.
I'm gonna tell you what I like doing. I like hitting shuffle. and
Shuffle and it's random.
I'll get
Yeah.
Selena.
Like surprise me what's next.
Kirk Franklin.
It's like the radio, you know? Like, oh, the song sounds so much better when the radio plays. I have no idea why, but it's just because the radio's playing it randomly. Like when you get in the car and someone just starts playing your song and you didn't ask them to.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, now that sounds good. It's exciting, you know?
No, I love that. That's a very good
Shuffle is cool.
analogy to what we're talking about. Because again, that's just life. You know, you have your ups and downs, and then music can there's times where it starts playing music that reminds me of like my brother-in-law who passed away, or my dad who passed away.
Yep.
And I'm like,
then it takes you into time travel.
Yeah, and then I'm like, let me change this because but
well, you never know when you're shuffling.
Yeah.
You said you like to do shuffle.
No, that's true. And that's why I say,
what comes with shuffle.
I hit shuffle and I'm driving. I'm like, yeah, this ain't what I want to hear.
I might be tearing up or I might be laughing, depending on the song.
Nah, trust me, my playlist goes crazy. Like, I'll be worshiping God one minute and then Street Military come on.
I know that's
talking about
right.
guys to get paid. I'm like, okay, let me pick one, or let me pick a battle here.
That's funny.
But man, it's such a blessing to have OGs like the guys that you got around you, that growing up, to have them around you, just to pick their brain and be able to offer advice, you know, be able to support you. Like, that's such a blessing, I want to say. Because this is not something that everybody has.
It isn't. And I've come to realize that. And I am very, very appreciative. What I like to do is I like to bring it full circle. And that's kind of why you see me as an artist sometimes, or most times through these last 7 years, you may have run into me rolling my sleeves up and working. And it's because I really love the culture. And people like that are why I love the culture. Being brought up around people like that has made me value and love the culture in a different way. It's bigger than myself.
So, speaking of, speaking of the culture, loving the culture, I noticed recently. Well, let me kind of go backwards a little bit. Speaking of culture, you did a lot of work with or for Exotic Pop. You were at almost every event. You was headline. You were up there front and center. You know, doing this, and then just recently, I saw your post, and you're no longer affiliated, right?
Yes. Okay. Yes. And I would say the biggest reason for that is because of the culture, which is the same reason why you see me going so hard for them for so long. It'll be the same reason why you don't see me going hard for them anymore. But I have faith in it. You know, some people are just, hey, that's not my cup of tea and that's not my mission anymore, because people grow. Yeah. And sometimes naturally people grow apart. You know, it's going to only be so long that you're going to be, in alignment with some entities. And I personally have to work on letting go earlier when it's time to let go, if that makes sense.
It does.
But when we talk about the culture, Exotic Pop, I seen the potential from them at the very beginning of what they were doing, and them coming out, paying homage to all of our legends, and creating a platform for our legends to get the proper recognition that they deserve, the history, expressed and told to our community that a lot of people don't know. It was a platform for that. And, growing up around, legends and just kind of being in the culture as a child and having an appreciation for it, I could appreciate a business and a brand like Exotic Pop. So no matter what, if I was on good terms with them, bad terms with them, you would always still see me ride for them. Now I feel like there's more of a disconnect, because I personally feel like they are promoting whole culture over our culture. And which means that you're putting the celebration of, sexualizing women over paying homage to the people. Like, you can do both because everyone does their thing. Don't get me wrong. And that's what's popular. And it's okay if that's what you decide that you want to do, but don't neglect your legends or
what got you
overlook
to the
them or
dance.
disrespect them
Yeah.
or shit on them to in order to promote or don't put the whole culture on top of
Yeah.
our culture.
I hear you.
You gotta keep it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so with that brand, there's just, you know, and I think it goes personal too, because that brand just seems like, you know, a lot of the people that are working it and running it are doing what the leader does, which is just using the brand to, you know, manipulate girls and get close to girls. And it's about, oh, how many girls can I get? And, you know, it just waters down the significance of people wanting to come in there and being a part of history, and then they got to worry about it. Oh, like if you're a beautiful woman or you're a man who has a beautiful daughter and she goes in there, you have to worry about their staff members using the brand to get close to and manipulating girls to think that they're going to be a part of the brand and they're going to be running it and they're going to be, and I mean, you get what I'm saying? Like, and then they see, well, if they're celebrating these kind of girls, then yeah, I'm sure they think they have a chance. And it's just, you know, I don't think they've done a good job at separating their personal issues that they got with their business. If you love your business enough, you'll keep that separate. So I personally had to tap out because I could not stand it anymore.
Yeah, to be a successful business, you know, you gotta be able to separate the two and or at least try to. Because I mean, I know most businesses, you know, that's one of the things that I've seen since I've been in this game is just the whole mixing business with pleasure type of thing, and I've never seen it work out.
Yeah, it doesn't. And I mean, it takes a certain type of people for it to work out. Like, but I wouldn't say in this industry. Like, I almost don't ever want to date anyone in this industry again. Like, it's just too much, you know. Not everyone's gonna be humble about it. You know? And it's your flesh gets the most of you. And I think that's what people, they get excited, they get whatever clout they get, or maybe they have a wave, they let it pump their head up, and then they want to have it their way, and it's just like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it gets a little crazy. I like to respect the culture as a business. Like, when you go to work, they have an HR department for a reason.
Yeah.
Speaking of Exotic Pop, I really recommend you guys get an HR department because you really need it. But maybe that would fix it. Maybe they wouldn't run ambassadors like me off if they had an HR department. Yeah. But you know, but hey, to each his own. And not too much shade on them if that's your cup of tea, and you know how to protect yourself. I just feel like just be careful. You know, be careful as a woman. Be careful. Like. It's getting crazy out here in these streets.
No, I was about to say it is because, and it's crazy because it's like the amount of stuff that I hear, and I'm not involved directly in any of the stuff, but the stuff that I hear, now I can only imagine the stuff that's actually going on, you know, and it's like, that's why you don't really see me out too many places because it don't be my cup of tea, and again, it ain't no
judgment on other people. If that's your thing, you do it, you like it, all right, I love that for you. But as for me and mine, you know, and I personally don't like to be misrepresented.
So I hear you.
The only reason why I'm being vocal now about the people and the entities like Exotic Pop and the other, you know, artists that we're going to get into, that I've decided to be vocal about. I've been struggling with these people with bad relationships for a long time already. I'm barely speaking out about it now. I consciously decided to speak out about it because I realized that I do have an influence on certain people. People are watching what I'm doing, and these entities I have represented, promoted, backed, you know, gave my support, the Kween Kazaree support, and they turn around and they do things that do not reflect my character and what I stand for. And as a business and a brand of my own, I have to vocally express to my community that no, you know, every now and then you got to stand out and you got to make that uncomfortable decision and call and put that boundary there and say, okay, no more. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
I can't stand behind this. You guys are representing me in a poor way. I'm getting stuff coming back to me. I'm hearing this, I'm hearing that. You're misrepresenting me. I mean, you guys are better off just acting like you didn't know me and keeping our relationships private.
Yeah, and well, now that you brought that up, that was going to be the
Yeah.
next one. Because we talked about this before. There's obviously, and it's no secret to anybody in the industry. The calling out of Lopez. I am Lopez.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which came, I'm sure, as a surprise to many, because again, like you
Everyone knew
said,
me to rock with her so long, just like Exotic
I
Pop.
mean, hell, the
Same
last
thing.
time I seen, well, no, I don't think it was the last time I actually seen you, but I know one of the last times I seen you, you guys pulled up together to one of our events at Tequila Bees at March Madness. I think it was like a
Yeah.
birthday. I think it was about a year ago. So for it to kind of like go that way, it was kind of like, whoa, what? And so
Yeah.
now that makes sense that you said that things have been kind of building up towards it. Now that you're
Right.
finally being vocal about it.
And with her, I would say the disconnect, it was gradual, but all of the disrespect and the separation was towards the end. It was very recent, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But with her, we had a great relationship, and then we became close as friends, and then I would consider her a sister. So then we became family. There was a business relationship, and then now we have a family relationship. Now this is another example of that business and personal.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be a boyfriend-girlfriend situation. It could just be like you're letting certain people too cool or too close to you, and then they know too much about you, and then turns out they obviously don't like you. I don't know what the situation is, but I'm not the type of person that likes to get disrespected. I'm not gonna sit around and wait for you to do it again. I don't even want you to apologize. I'm just gonna let you know that, hey, that was disrespectful, and I don't go for it.
Yeah.
And I had to come to a situation with Lopez where I'm just like, you're tripping. That was uncalled for. And it's I was messed up. I don't even remember. You can't even remember how bad and how it got. The situation got as bad as it got, and I'm talking to you the next day like, hey, I'm sorry, but I gotta sign out of that Lopez show. Like I'm off that. I've always done my best to be supportive and like I was really a fan. I would consider myself a fan of her work, because I was a fan of the voice that she was being for the Latino community, and she was showing and proving that it could be any one of us, that we can do it no matter what. If the odds are against you, it can be done. And then she also has a passion with her music that I could relate to. So I related to her in that way. A lot of potential. Not going to discredit the talent and the potential, but a lot of times in life, what do? We love people for what their potential is, not for who they are at the moment.
Correct.
And me and her got really close when she was pregnant. And she was probably the most sober that she's probably ever been. Now that I'm thinking of it, So me and her got close when she was pregnant. So I was getting to know probably the realest her, and that's who I bonded with. But as soon as she had her baby, she was back on her bullshit with the partying and stuff. And I'm just not that type of friend. I'm not going to be at the parties with you. I'm going to be there to be an ear, and you can come cry to me, and and I go out sometimes. Don't get me wrong. I know how to have a good time when I feel like it, but I can't do that every day, every weekend. Like, I don't have it. So, I just feel like she was in a lifestyle that I had nothing to do with, and it's starting to take over, and it's starting to get worse. And I bump into her one day, and she gets really, really disrespectful to me and another one of my good homies, and it was just very unnecessary. Talking mess about other people in the industry, and kind of making it uncomfortable for us. And then I'm just telling her, like, no, like, don't, like, that's not cool. She get her feelings hurt because I wasn't, I guess, enabling her, patting her, and co-signing and saying. So that was that, and it could have been left at that. When she was pregnant, we had gotten so close. I was going through something during a time of my life, and I asked her if I could stay with her. And I stayed with her and her family for about 6 months. She was pregnant the whole time. But during that time, that's when we bonded as sisters.
Okay.
So that's where you seen the closeness with us transfer to everything else. And it was easy for me to support her, seeing her grind as a mother and, being a mom and, being pregnant, still rapping and grabbing the mic and doing her best. Like, I admired her during her pregnancy time. Like, during the time that I was with her, I admired her strength, a pregnant woman doing all of these things. So, we were able to bond, but I think that she truly thinks in her head because she did that thing for me, which has already been 2 years ago since I left.
Oh, wow.
I think that that's something she felt like maybe in the back of her head she could hold. She did it. Her intentions were more so like, let me help this person in this way so that I can have,
She owes me forever.
Yeah, or like, I can have her favor forever.
Yeah.
Like, as if there's not something you can do to fuck it up.
Yeah.
And she did exactly that. She fucked up the respect that I had with her by being disrespectful. And then, I don't play by my kids. Yeah. I'm a mom. My boys are teenagers, 13 and 15.
Okay.
And it got to a point where she was making comments about me as a mom in our conversation. And I was like, okay, I didn't even get disrespectful or I didn't say all of the things that I could have said about her being a mom. I was just like, okay, this is where this conversation, like, all right, I see where we're at. We're not cool. And I just stopped talking to her from there.
Do you feel like this was something that maybe all along she's felt that way?
Oh, yeah. Because
sometimes when the disrespect comes so naturally, I know for me, it's like, damn, I feel like you always felt that way.
Absolutely.
Because you just been waiting for a way to say it.
because there's no way you all of a sudden feel that way.
Yeah.
Because you've been feeling that way. Your evaluation of me is 2 years old. Now, when I was staying with her, it was just me. My son was staying with his dad. My youngest son was staying with his dad. My oldest son has been staying with his dad this entire time. So there was about 2 weeks. My son came back home to be with me, and we probably lasted there 2 weeks before, to me, it appeared like my son being in the house was just too much. But she has, younger kids. My son was 11 at the time. So she's making these comments about me as a mom with my 11-year-old son,
Yeah.
2 weeks. My son was in your house for 2 weeks, and you have some opinion about me as a mom, and if I'm not and then she's saying these things in the argument, and I'm just like, bro, you've done so much crazy shit as a mom in front of me, and for you to be telling me like I'm not a good mom just because my son's not a little baby, I don't have to jump out of my bed and go chase him around the house in the morning like you have to do your kids.
Yeah.
He knows how to go in the refrigerator and make him a sandwich or feed himself if he's hungry. So I think that she wanted me to cater to her and her children while I was at her house, especially once my son got in there. And I guess she had a problem with me chilling and relaxing. I needed to get up and take care of all of the kids.
Oh, wow.
So I'm maybe she's probably gonna say that's not what it is, but I'm just trying to think like, why do you got something negative to say about me just chilling? We're in the house with you 2 weeks, and then it hurt my feelings. Me and her had a good talk, and she basically said her opinions and how she felt, and I can tell by some of the comments that she was making, she was being very judgmental of me, and I didn't know she was being judgmental of me. But I'm like, it's cool, it's not like I didn't have anywhere to go. I have a family that loves me, and I just shout out my dad and my mom, like they created me. I wasn't seeing eye to eye with them at that time, but they're always there to support me. So as soon as I felt weird energy with her, I'm just like, okay, mom and dad, come get me. They're being weird now, you know? So, and my son was only there for 2 weeks. But again, it was a time, during that time, I was going through really grinding, getting into the event coordinating. I was, perfecting my craft with promo, doing flyers, throwing events, networking, all of these things in this industry that really, really matter. I don't know if you remember me doing Forever Faded. I did Forever Faded for a good 8 months. A part of that time, I was staying with her. I think all of that time that I did Forever Faded, I was staying with her. So I was developing things like that, my independent business, which I don't regret any of that time that I took to do that, But I wasn't punching the clock at the time, and I was making that sacrifice. I'm so happy that I had that chapter, but again, you get help from the wrong people. They act like they down for you, then they want to use it over your head. And I'm not ashamed. I've never been the type of person to act like I'm rich, I got it all. I'm not materialistic, so when I do and can afford designer, great, you'll see me in it. Am I going to be wanting to brandish all kinds of brands and just like, I don't know, I'm just a deeper person than that. So I'm not ashamed to say, hey, at this time I was developing my business and I wasn't working a 9 to 5 and I was staying at a friend's house or a family member's house. I'm not ashamed of that. Like,
well, we talked about earlier,
it
like
takes
being
a village.
transparent,
And relatable.
and relatable through through the music, but also in life in general. Like I'm not ashamed to talk about the ups and
Real
downs.
life,
Like people know what I've gone through the last couple of months. Like I confide in certain people, and if that, and I get it, trust me, because if that trust was to be betrayed, then it's like, damn.
Right. So, imagine being so close with the person. Like at this point, if I'm living with you and then I even was willing to bring my son in, I was already trying to figure something out once my son got back with me anyways. But I mean, he was only there 2 weeks before she didn't even give me time to move out on my own. It was, time to go. And so when we're arguing and we're having this disagreement with the disrespect that she gave me when I bumped into her, she's bringing up comments of me about me as a mom, which I thought was crazy, and then making comments like, I sheltered you, I fed you, I clothed you. Whoa. You what? So we're gonna pretend like I didn't have my own money, I wasn't paying my own bills, my phone bill, whatever it is, like I just wasn't making money, like I wasn't also investing in events and supporting things that you were doing, throwing events for you, throwing fundraiser events to raise money for your birthing center cost. Like we're gonna pretend like I wasn't a benefit and I was just sitting there being a leech and not doing it. Please, I wouldn't have lasted that long if I wasn't doing anything for you. So it's just kind of like, once I knew that that's where her mind was, then making comments about me as a mom. My son was only there for 2 weeks before I left. And I was like, wow, like you blew my mind with the way you really feel about me, So I'm not going to say nothing back, but I'm just done with it.
Yeah. What was the point where, like, because you dropped the track with some amazing artwork, by the way. Shout out to Hardcore, the whole dragon.
My boy Hardcore, yes.
I mean, when I seen it, I was like, this is insane. The cover alone was insane.
Absolutely.
But you got the song. What was the point? At what point did you say, you know what, I'm dropping this? Like, what was the?
I wasn't even gonna say anything to her about nothing until we're not getting along anymore because, that situation. And I just said, hey, we're just not friends anymore. Cool. I concluded that conversation. To be funny and to get a jab back at me or whatever, she links up with my sister, who is an artist. So my sister and I have a bad history with just not being on one page and just not having a very good relationship. And she knows the nature and the details of my relationship with my sister. It's not a good relationship. I've tried my best. My sister is 4 years older than me. I tried my best with her and it just didn't work out. So one day it pops up that my sister and her are at an event and there's a video clip on the internet of her introducing my sister, and I'm like, okay, so now, not only is you couldn't just take that last conversation that we had and let things just be, now you want to take jabs at me by using my family member to, I guess, try to hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't play about family.
Yeah.
Period. So I just felt like that was a violation.
Yeah. For sure.
Keep family out of it. Don't try to be funny. Don't try to throw a rock and hide your hand.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. My sister did it in a way to be funny too. She too knew. Me and her don't talk. So she could tell I wasn't cool with Lopez anymore. And that's the only reason why she was up there. They both are only cool with each other right now because they're both not cool with me.
Yeah. Like being friends with your enemy.
And thinking it's cute.
That's crazy.
But it to be my sister, it struck a chord. And then for me to have the close relationship with Lopez, like a sister, that I let her close to me, it struck a chord. And these being two people that I've confided in, that they have seen me at my lowest, you know, crying, being hurt, being betrayed. For example, being betrayed by Exotic Pop. Like, they've seen all of the pain and witnessed everything that I've had to go through. Lopez understands all of the pain that I've had to go through with my sister and Exotic Pop. But the moment that she disrespects me and I hold her accountable for it, she goes and clicks up with them to spite me. So that's fine and everything if you want to do that, but bow down meant hold your nuts on that.
Yeah.
If you want to be publicly disrespecting me and using resources that I introduced you to and connected you with to hurt me, well then, okay, I just feel like it's like gloves off situation.
Right.
Like, you know, okay, well then let's put it on wax.
Let's put it all out there.
Because everybody's watching. Kween Kazaree, we know that she's not over there Exotic Pop no more. We know her sister ain't around no more. We know this Lopez. Oh, they all clicked up and cool. Kween ain't cool with them no more. What's going on?
Yeah.
Or Kween, we don't. It's just a lot of unanswered questions.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
It was a form of betrayal that I just wasn't willing to let ride, and that I felt like out of all of the things I've been through with my sister and with everybody else, it was time for me to defend myself. It was time for me to speak up. It was time for me to say my piece.
Yeah.
And just to close the chapter.
Yeah.
So Bow Down and the tracks following, you know, anything that's addressing these issues, it's a process of ending those chapters with those people and holding myself accountable for the end of that chapter.
Yeah.
There's no going back. There's no apologizing for it. There's no, you know, okay, y'all want to keep, you already stabbed me in the back, but instead of just leaving it at that because I didn't come back and get your ass, you want to keep pushing it further and further. So now, now we're gonna have to speak up on it and hold your nuts on it.
Yeah. A lot of times sometimes you gotta make that uncomfortable decision and address things head on, because if not, the situation only continues, and then and it's like anything else. You let something bubble up long enough, it's gonna explode, and then what does that actually mean? Who knows? You know, so it's better to just deal with it head on, right out in the open, and like, okay, this is it. Yep. But guarantee, like you said, this is gonna be it. Like, I'm gonna speak my piece. I'm gonna say, do what I need to do, and I'm done with it. You know, move on.
And I mean, and if y'all feeling some type of way, you know, of course, I understand the energy comes with energy. So only you guys can dictate where this goes from here. But I could keep going and going. I could go all day. I haven't addressed half of the things that you've done to me. This is only the surface.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, I'm always a forgiving person, but I also can't be a leader and show people that you just let people mess with you, do you any kind of way, and then you don't say nothing or stand up for yourself.
I hate to hear that, but I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Like, I agree 100% with every decision that you're making.
Yeah.
And hey, let the chips fall where they may.
For real. And you know, speaking up on it, I got confirmation from so many people. Do you know how many all of these people have done to other people that have stories like mine? You know, having issues with these people. But I don't like the faking. Like, don't pretend like you're this type of person and then you show up over here, like, hold on, like, let everyone know exactly who you are so that they can make a decision how they want to deal with you.
Yeah.
I say the same thing with Exotic Pop. Like, it would have worked, but the CEO just insisted on pursuing a personal relationship with me. I kept the personal relationship private. But if you would have insisted on it being personal, then we could have developed a business relationship and that would have been better than anything.
Yeah.
But the intentions are in the wrong place.
Yep.
And same thing with the girls. My sister, they were both to me sisters to me at one point. Now they're not, because your intentions are just to benefit from it, benefit from the relationship. And when you don't think you're benefiting from me, you have nothing to pour back into me. But we're not going to let you guys pretend like you're one thing and then use my name to make you look good when it's convenient, and then you stabbing me in the back when I'm walking away. You don't get your cake and eat it too. You're either for me or you're against me. And since your actions are showing that you want to be against me so bad, well, then I got to show you how that really feels.
Man.
Yeah.
Look, I don't even have nothing to say on that, like, because I've been through it, with well, we don't got
So
enough
many
time
people,
to actually
right.
go down the list, but
You've been through it.
yeah, well, again, like I said, make our moves,
Big facts. Bow down is what that is. It's the story. It's that voice for everyone who just got to say, hey, that's it. Like, you're beneath me.
Yeah.
I made you important. But if I say you ain't important, you're not important anymore. You're only important when I said you were. I'm not going to let you use the power of my love against me.
Yeah.
So if y'all going to click up, cool, I understand.
And that's crazy, because I always read the meme about if they got to click up to go against you.
It's a compliment, obviously.
Because it's like, it's going to take all of y'all got to go up against me. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold my own regardless.
Yeah, just be honest, be real with people. Say who you are. Let them decide where they want to put you in their lives.
For sure.
You feel me?
For sure.
I feel like that's what they could have did better, and I wouldn't have had no problem. Like, be real about who you are. Don't pretend and act like you're this and that, and then you're over here messing other people's plays up too. Like, you falling out with a lot of other people. I'm not the only one. So it's just like, man, how many other people got to get burned?
Yeah.
If I speak up about it, then maybe people have their antennas up when they're dealing with these people. So,
man,
as they should. But yeah, bow down on all platforms.
All platforms. Go out and go stream it.
And I have something else dropping on my birthday.
Okay. We got a birthday coming up, October babies. We in the house. It's our time to shine. We're not. We're both October babies. My youngest October baby. So.
That's awesome.
So what's next for you? I know you just mentioned the tracks, Okay.
So I have something coming up. Next Friday is my birthday. Okay. So October 3rd. It's definitely a fun party song, but I'm running them down on that one too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an addition.
It's
an addition. It's been 2 weeks now since I dropped Bow Down. I haven't had no response. But I did hear that I've been told there was a clip on posted on the Instagram story of a supposable response. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what that consists of. But it's been, I don't know.
Yeah.
How long do you think that you should have the longest it should take to respond to a diss?
I would say 2 days, 2 to 3 days, maybe a week.
Right.
But anything over that, I don't think you just don't want to, or I don't understand, because in today's era where you can go to a studio at any point, any time, and have the track same day, there's no it doesn't make sense to not have one the next day after dropping one, or maybe 2 days after.
Right.
So yeah, I agree though. Like, it's weird not hearing from someone who, will say as far as they're the best and this and that. Like, why we not in the booth? You know, why
Right.
we not dropping the track or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they just don't want it. I don't know. I mean,
Right. I mean, it maybe I feel like there's always that natural competitiveness there, but I'm spiritual, so when I write my music, it's what I'm really, really feeling.
Yeah.
So if I'm real about how I'm feeling, if you're real about how you're feeling, then you should be able to write with your chest, you know, and respond. And if it's not real, I just feel like the lack of timeliness shows that it's not coming from a genuine place. Because if you have to take too long to get something together and to prepare and to brainstorm what you're going to do and what you're going to say,
true.
it just waters it down.
Yeah.
Like,
So I'm curious
but
to
yeah,
see.
I feel like this. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a second one. Drop the second one on the ass, you know. And I feel like that should be, it should be dead. I wanted to come and talk about it and just open up about it because I don't plan on giving this any more energy anymore. Everyone knows what the situation is with that. Everyone knows what the difference is between me and them. I don't really have to say it with my mouth. So, and again, authenticity, raw, passion, you know, relatable, timeless. That's what I'm going for. Whether it's a diss or it's not a diss, I want my listeners to be able to relate to it and be able to jam to it.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking with my substance, but at the same time, not letting it stop anything that I got going on, but also making an example. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
It's really absolutely free to leave me alone. Don't come over here trying to date me if you can't keep it in your pants, okay? Don't come over here trying to flash your materialism and I got this and I got that, because I don't care about none of that. Don't come over here trying to be my fake friend or fake sister. And then when I turn around, you talking shit and you judging me when you do worse. And don't be my family trying to drag me down to your level because you're not woman enough to be the woman that I am. So if I'm not beneath you, then you don't support me. So don't fake act like you love me. Just keep that shit over there. That's for everybody and anybody. If the shoe fits, wear it. But everybody in this city who love and support me, I appreciate it, because this season has really taught and showed me how much love and support I do have. So I'm going to focus on that part.
I love that. I love that. Hey, look, you got any shout outs before we get out of here? I know you kind of just, you know, but
you know, we got shout out God, the one and only,
amen,
for blessing us to just be here and have breath and give us purpose. Shout out my family, my daddy, you put me on. You're the reason why I'm here. Thank you for blessing me with the game. You know, my SUC family members, my Hustletown Network family, my Go Toes distribution family, you know, all of our community platforms that we have, Media from the Streets, Hustletown Heroes, Dedicated and Committed. Shout out my boy Fam. Shout out my girl Maria Saez. I could keep going. Everyone that's a part of my team and that's really making this happen for Queen. I love and appreciate you guys, and there's so much more to come. So y'all stay tuned.
Again, man, make sure you guys go follow her. Link is in the description, guys. Go follow her, stream the music. We'll actually link the song Bow Down in the description. You guys can go right to it on either Apple Music or all streaming platforms. Go tap in with her.
And I can't let it go without mentioning my newest family members, the Pentagon. Mark Drew, what it do?
Oh, yeah.
He's the one that's made Bow Down possible. Thank you to all of my Pentagon family over there. We're working. We're getting ready to get some amazing things. So, yeah, y'all tap in.
Shout out my boy Mark Drew. What it do, man? And Vanity, man. Shout out to everybody over there.
Absolutely.
Again, make sure you guys go follow her. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. And on that note, we are them damn
Mexicans. Let's go.